In the headlines, authorities nab a man who allegedly stole a fire department radio from a volunteer's vehicle. Police continue their search for a man who opened fire on two unsuspecting residents. North Carolina's Court of Appeals asserts a judge's ruling, but the law may still be on the side of one local community's fighting annexation. And we sit down with the man now leading the charge to fight crime in Rocky Mount. These stories and more coming up on NewsBreak starting now.
From WHIG-TV, this is NewsBreak 31. Now, here's Marie Torres.
Hello, and thanks for watching WHIG-TV NewsBreak, your voice in the community. I'm Marie Torres. First, breaking news. Now more than 3 years later, Rocky Mount police believe they finally solved a cold case murder. This morning, police say they arrested 23-year-old Travis Rashad Ricks of Nashville. Ricks is accused of the July 11, 2009 homicide of 46-year-old Charles Creech of Rocky Mount. Creech was found by police lying in the street near a home on 820 Columbia Avenue on the evening of the crime. He would later die at Pitt Memorial Hospital of blunt trauma due to injuries to his face and head. Ricks is being charged with second-degree murder in Creech's death. He was being held in Nash County Jail for other unrelated charges when he was served the murder warrant today. Also in our crime report this week, police continue their search for a man who opened fire on two unsuspecting residents. Around 10:30 Monday night, Rocky Mount police say, according to the victims, a man named Jay knocked on the door of their home on Wintergreen Court, and then he shot them when they answered. Police need your help in solving this crime. The gunman is described as a black male with a light complexion, standing about 6 feet tall. He has a medium build and was wearing a black t-shirt on the night of the shooting. The gunman ran from the scene and possibly left in a light blue older model four-door Chevrolet. A Rocky Mount teen is accused of attacking both his uncle and his grandmother. According to police, Tuesday evening at a home on Park Avenue, the teen's 25-year-old uncle says his nephew, 17-year-old Trayvon Markel Powell Moody, assaulted him with a handgun. Moody then allegedly pushed his 49-year-old grandmother. Both victims say Moody threatened them prior to leaving the scene with an unknown male who also allegedly communicated threats. No serious injuries occurred, but Moody, who is now wanted for assault with a deadly weapon with the intent to kill, inflicting serious injury, assault on a female, 2 counts of assault by pointing a gun, and 2 counts of communicating threats, has yet to be arrested. The second suspect has yet to be identified. If you have information into either of these cases, you're urged to call Crime Stoppers at 252-977-1111. Authorities nab a man who allegedly stole a fire department radio from a volunteer's vehicle. Tuesday, Nash County detectives arrested 23-year-old Stephen Webb and charged him with felony breaking and entering a motor vehicle, misdemeanor larceny, and damage to property. According to officials, while Farrell's fire and rescue firefighters were responding to a tractor trailer that had gone off the road on NC 231 Friday night, Webb allegedly drove to the Middlesex Fire Station with an unidentified woman and a child and began walking around the unoccupied station. Upon review of video surveillance footage, Webb is believed to have tried to get into a squad vehicle before targeting the volunteers' pickup truck. The fire department was able to recover the radio. Webb is being jailed in Nash County Jail under a $1,000 bond. In other news, North Carolina's Court of Appeals asserts a judge's ruling, but the law may still be on the side of one local community fighting annexation. Tuesday, the appellate court affirmed that the Oak Level community failed to prove that the annexation ordinance created by Rocky Mount City officials last January did not comply with state law. Regardless of the ruling, a new state law suspends that community's annexation. The law, which was first introduced by North Carolina Representative Jeff Collins as NC House Bill 56, states that if at least 60% of residents affected sign a protest petition, the city's efforts to annex will be halted for 3 years. And now that former Chief John Manley has retired, one of his faithful captains has earned the leading role for Rocky Mount's police department. This week we had the opportunity to speak with now interim Chief Jim Thomas about being named to the position and his outlook on the future. Years in law enforcement, former Captain Jim Thomas is now leading the charge for justice in Rocky Mount.
I've been in law enforcement. September will be my 30th anniversary.
He says he was both surprised and honored to be named interim chief last month after the retirement of Chief John Manley.
Very honored, very honored. I'm glad that the citizens of Rocky Mount, the council, and the city staff and management had the opinion that I could do the job and I could continue in this transition until they find a new chief.
Now that Chief Thomas is heading the force, he says his focus is on the upkeep of the strengths already built up by the closely knit department.
We're going to continue the same issues that we were working on before. That is continued reduction in crime, criminal activity, enforcement of the laws, working on quality of life issues, the same things that we've been doing and that we did under Chief Manley's previous administration. We're not going to change our focus. We're going to continue to go forward and continue to do all the things that is expected of us.
And he tells us his outlook for the future of his new post.
I don't have a specific agenda to change anything. That's not my role. My role is more of a transition role to try to keep our department on the same path that we were going on before. As I said, we were doing a lot of great things and continue to move forward. That's going to be the biggest job role I have, to make sure our agency stays in that same direction that it was left in by Chief Manley.
He thanks several people who have helped lead him to this place.
Said the council, and also Mr. Penny and Ann Wall and Mr. Varney. And also I'd like to thank all the officers that we have here. They do a tremendous job. They work very hard every day. I think that they need to be given a lot of kudos and thanks. They're the reason why my job is a lot easier to do, and I really appreciate their efforts.
Thomas says he will continue to work hand in hand with his department and the city to fulfill this position until a permanent chief is named by the city manager, possibly by the fall. And with 3 decades of experience, retirement could also be knocking at his door, but that will have to wait as there's still work to be done and many others to lead in their dedicated work of public service. In Rocky Mount, WHIG TV. According to the city, Thomas began his law enforcement career with the Rocky Mount PD as a police officer in 1981. Over the past 30 years, he served in all 4 divisions of the police department. Captain Laura Fawnstock says all in leadership are taking an active role in both helping and supporting the new chief. And we've learned former Chief Manley is enjoying his retirement, though he has occasionally popped into the police station and has been dedicated to following local trials. We wish them both the very best of success. When we return on Newsbreak, a local college is giving aspiring students a chance to gain a degree, and it's a free movie night the whole family can enjoy this week. These stories and more right after these words.
It's back for a limited time. Every new Buick and GMC at Davenport Auto Park is being offered at the GM employee price. Combined with factory incentives, now you can drive out for up to $5,000 below dealer invoice amount. And that's not all. With Davenport's dealership for life, you can even get a free lifetime warranty. Plus free oil changes, rotations, and more for no extra charge. Employee price, rebates up to $5,000, free lifetime warranty. See if anybody beats that deal. But hurry, this offer ends soon, only at Davenport Auto Park in Rocky Mount. Still your dealership for life.
We're your news team bringing it home to you with meteorologist Fred Holtzworth, anchor Marie Torres, sports reporter Edward Green, and Matt Havitt, our studio guy. WHIG TV Newsbreak, your voice in the community.
The Country Inn & Suites is your home away from home with a staff that always treats you as family. If you or your church or company has visitors, give them a great Rocky Mount welcome with a special discount on their overnight or extended stay. Not only is the Country Inn & Suites a comfortable place, we'll spoil them with fresh cookies and complimentary breakfast. We are filled with luxuries like an indoor pool, fitness center, and a guest laundry. The business center includes a boardroom, connection to high-speed internet, and catering for meetings is always available. Call me, Donna Chavis, at 252-442-0500 for a tour and or to set up your corporate rate. You're always welcome as family in the Country Inn & Suites, Rocky Mount.
Welcome back to Newsbreak. I'm Marie Torres. Aspiring college students, get ready. Next week, North Carolina Wesleyan College in Rocky Mount will be having a program that is just for you. Here's the college's Vice President of Enrollment, Bill Allen, to tell us more.
There's a lot going on at Wesleyan. Right now we're in the process of getting ready for the fall semester. And a big part of that is, of course, a lot of late-minute applications who are still trying to make decisions. And so we're scrambling to get folks settled. And we thought we would have a nice event to kind of make them feel at ease with their transition to college. So we come up with the idea of Decision Day, which will be July 29th, next Friday, from about 10 to 2. We're going to have a little fun with it. We've got one of our staff members' fathers coming in, actually going to do a pig roast for us. So we're going to have a little fun with it, and they'll be able to take a tour of campus. They'll also be able to have a little discussion with a panel of faculty, staff, and students. And hopefully we'll play a few games and have a little fun too in the process, and they'll get familiar with the college and have a good time doing it. So.
Okay, tell us why it's so important to have an event like this.
Well, I think it's important because a lot of our students right now are a little unsure of what they want to do, and what we want to do is transmit the idea that it's comfortable yet to be making a decision. We don't want folks to have to feel they're rushed, although we are coming up on the start of the semester. So we want to make sure that they're comfortable with what we're doing and that this is a good fit for them. Some people will come and decide this isn't a good fit, and that's fine too. That's all part of the process.
How do people find more information about this day?
They can check us out on our webpage, www.ncwc.edu. They're more than welcome to call the admissions office as well, 985-5200, if they've got questions or want to register.
On Tuesday, we'll be hearing more about the event and what you need to bring to it. Tomorrow, you can enjoy a movie at no cost to you. Beginning at 7 p.m., Rocky Mount's Parks and Recreation will host the 4th free viewing in their Lawn Chair Theater. Lawn Chair Theater is a series of free family movies shown outdoors on the lawn of the Imperial Center for the Arts and Sciences on 270 Gay Street in Rocky Mount. Tomorrow's movie will be Spy Kids 3D. 3D glasses will be freely distributed at the event, but get there early before they run out. Again, it's a free event and free to view the movie. Food and concessions will be available for purchase. And as area students are getting their minds ready for school, organizers for this year's 4th annual Back to School Jump Off are getting ready for their big school supply giveaway event. Organizer Yvette Jones with the Rocky Mount Police Department says they are currently in need of volunteers to help with the 3-hour-long event that will take place August 5th at the Rocky Mount Athletic Stadium. Volunteers are needed for the registration booth and at various food, game, and giveaway stations. Jones says along with the need for volunteers, the PD is also asking the community for school supply donations. You can drop off those donations at the police station at 330 South Church Street or at any of Rocky Mount's fire stations. To see how you can be involved, call 252-972-1436. Up next, it's the latest in sports and your look at the days ahead in weather. Stay with us.
It's back for a limited time. Every new Buick and GMC at Davenport Auto Park is being offered at the GM employee price. Combined with factory incentives, now you can drive out for up to $5,000 below dealer invoice amount. And that's not all. With Davenport's dealership for life, you can even get a free lifetime warranty. Plus free oil changes, rotations, and more for no extra charge. Employee price, rebates up to $5,000, free lifetime warranty. See if anybody beats that deal. But hurry, this offer ends soon, only at Davenport Auto Park in Rocky Mount. Still your dealership for life.
The Country Inn & Suites is your home away from home with a staff that always treats you as family. If you or your church or company has visitors, give them a great Rocky Mount welcome with a special discount on their overnight or extended stay. Not only is the Country Inn & Suites a comfortable place, we'll spoil them with fresh cookies and complimentary breakfast. We are filled with luxuries like an indoor pool, fitness center, and a guest laundry. The Business Center includes a boardroom, connection to high-speed internet, and catering for meetings is always available. Call me, Donovan Chavis, at 252-442-0500 for a tour and or to set up your corporate rate. You're always welcome as family in the Country Inn & Suites, Rocky Mount.
It's now time to look at our forecast with WHIG-TV meteorologist Fred Holdsworth. Fred?
Another hot one today as we have a heat advisory in effect from 11 o'clock until 8 p.m. So that in effect for heat indices up around 108 degrees today. And that will certainly make it feel uncomfortable for just about everybody, so you want to stay inside if at all possible. If you do go out, dress lightly, just wear light colored clothing if possible, and just stay in the shade as much as you can because this heat is dangerous. Over 24 people have already died in this heat wave across the nation, and unfortunately there are probably going to be more. So take care, check on the elderly, make sure the air conditioning is working well or they have fans, and also the pets. Make sure they have plenty of shade and fresh water. Change that water out several times during the day because it does heat up, and this heat puts a very big stress on pets that are outdoors. Well, let's take a look at our forecast map and we'll see where all this heat is. This will be the heat high, as we call it, moving to the east. It has been out over Missouri, Kansas, and now moving eastward. And this will bring us some temperatures for the next couple of days in the triple digits for highs. We had a high yesterday at the airport of 97, and that is certainly going to be topped by today. Showers and thunderstorms will extend from the east coast, Gulf Coast of Texas right in here, all across the Gulf to Florida and back up towards the Carolinas. All in this area will have a chance of thunderstorms. Our area barely in that thunderstorm region. Our chances today will be slight. As we go farther to the west, we'll see a dry area from Texas on up through southern New England. This area right here will not see any rain today. And then as we go farther west, a cold front will set off strong storms over Nebraska and Iowa, and we've already seen those developing this morning. They have more coming, so the severe weather potential is right in here. Another severe weather potential in the northern portion of New England up into the state of Maine. This in association with a cold front dropping down out of Quebec. Going farther to the west, low pressure out over the far west today but most of the area right in here will not see any precipitation. We do see some rain from the Oregon-Washington border northward along the west coast, and that is in connection with an occluded front, which is right in here. Off our coast, a good ways off the coast, we have Tropical Storm Brett. Brett is moving to the northeast and will not affect any of the east coast. Well, let's take a look now at our forecast and see what we can expect for the next few days. And one thing we can be sure of is heat. Partly cloudy with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms with a high of 100. Southwest wind at 5, heat index of 108. Tonight, slight chance of thunderstorms with a low of 76, southwest wind at 5. Friday, sunny with a high of 102, southwest wind at 8, heat index 109. Friday night, clear with a low of 77, southwest wind at 10. Sunny on Saturday with a slight chance of a afternoon shower or thunderstorm with a high of 100, southwest wind at 8. That heat index will be around 112. Saturday night, partly cloudy with a low of 73. Sunday, partly cloudy with a high of 98. Sunday night, partly cloudy, 72 degrees for the low. And for Monday, partly cloudy, chance of showers and thunderstorms with a high of 93 and a low of 72 on Monday night. Our high yesterday at our weather station, 98. It was 97 at the airport. 74 was our low temperature this morning. The U.S. extremes yesterday, 113 degrees in Blythe, California, and the low was 31 in Stanley, Idaho. And the greatest amount of precipitation reported by a National Weather Service station was 1.08 inches at Miami Beach, Florida. And that's a look at your Tri-County weather. Now back to you.
Thanks, Fred. And with our sports report, WHIG TV's own Edward Green talks up the upcoming basketball season with the Carolina Cougars.
All right, so we're here with the general manager of the Carolina Cougars, Greg Trudeau. Greg, why don't you tell us a little bit about how the Carolina Cougars got started on this expansion route?
Well, Dr. Brinkley, who is the owner and CEO of the team here, and she also has 3 other teams, one here in Rocky Mount, one in Raleigh, and also in Greensboro. And she bought 3 teams out of the ABA, and because of her passion for kids and dealing with poverty and juvenile delinquency, and she knows that the 3 cities that she went to have probably the highest areas of that. So she decided to bring one here in Rocky Mount, one in Raleigh-Durham, and also one in Greensboro. And I've known her for probably about a year. And one of her daughters was actually a basketball player, girlfriend of mine. And she introduced me to her mother, and just went from there.
Excellent. I looked on your website, and the goals that you guys kind of have for this, maybe not the standard goals a professional basketball team would have. Talk a little bit about them. You mentioned them briefly about the kind of areas you wanted to look into.
Well, what we're really trying to do is we envision all of our communities that we can bring reality to the dreams of guys that want to play basketball. We want to deal with juvenile delinquency, youth that are at risk, poverty, want to teach our kids how to work on the stock market and how to deal with financial areas. And those are the types of things that we really want to accomplish within our markets. But also to get into the community and whatever we can do to partner with as many organizations and businesses or whatever that we can do to help them advertise their businesses, or if it's an agency that's dealing with at-risk kids, partner with them and see if we can give them a different direction on what they're doing.
What are some of the teams that you guys are going to be playing? I know you're an expansion team, and so maybe the divisions haven't exactly been organized yet, but as you said, there's other teams in North Carolina. Just what's kind of the area you're looking at playing at right now?
Well, right now, it's looking like that we'll be playing against a team in Fayetteville, Horace Smith in Virginia, Myrtle Beach, Greenville, and also the Raleigh-Durham team. So as of right now, those are the 5 teams that we will be playing.
So you got a little bit of traveling going on.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Awesome. So as we know, there's also a lot of teams out there, a lot of ABA teams,
Yeah.
and some of them don't survive very long.
Right.
What's going to be the difference in how you guys can not only survive but thrive in this community?
Well, one of the things is to really let the community know that we are a community organization and we are a community team. Again, going back to dealing with getting with as many agencies as we can, businesses, organizations, and just partner with them as much as possible. And let them know that the areas that we're trying to deal with the kids and the youth, I think that's very important in any community that we deal with. And if we can help them to get focused, give them mentorship, give them direction, and stop them from being in these gangs, I think that's something that we can really bring a plus to the community. And if they see that these are things that we're doing, I think that will help them to support us.
Thank you, Edward. And if you want to hear about tryouts, Edward will have more from Greg on Tuesday. Well, that's all for us here today on Newsbreak. Tune in next week for more news that's impacting the community. For WHIG TV, I'm Marie Torres. We'll see you next time.